Welcome back to What Would It Cost? On this week's episode, we're talking with Rebekah Alto from Alto Real Estate, and we're going to be talking about going against the grain when it comes to social media presence in the real estate market.
This week's episode is brought to you by Nove Baci. They're located at Keele and McNaughton, and they have an awesome Italian menu, from the pizza to the pasta to the calamari to the bruschetta, and everything all across the board is really, really high quality. And the Picentis have been in the restaurant game for a long, long time, and they're awesome operators, and they know what they're doing with their food. So definitely make sure to check them out, because they got an awesome patio that's set up and ready to go for this summer. And yeah, we're going to be enjoying their lunch today.
And definitely one of the best Calabrese pizzas, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Especially Vince being Calabrese. I wouldn't expect anything less from him.
Yeah. Good seafood dish as well.
What is it going to cost?
How much? Hi, my name's Nicholas Regina.
My name's Michael Sakuro.
And you're listening to
What Would It Cost?
Is that good?
So, welcome, Rebekah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
So we'll start off. Tell us a bit about your background, how you got into real estate, and yeah, everything you're working on.
Awesome. So I'm relatively new in real estate. I've been in it for about 1.5 years now with my license. Before that, I was in fitness. So I studied nutrition, and then I competed for a little while in bikini competitions and fitness and all that. Trained, got into sales from there. So I actually opened up a club, a facility in Brampton, and I was on the management team. So a lot of onboarding, hiring, personal training as well. So really just helping people. And from there, I bought my first house at 23.
Wow,
and then,
awesome.
Nice. So it was a big accomplishment. Thank you.
That's young.
And then from there, I loved the process, and I was like, okay, I love fitness, but where else can I go with this passion of selling and helping people? And I don't really look at sales as like selling per se. It's like, how can I bring value to this person's life? And housing is one of the main things. Everybody needs a place to live.
Right.
Yeah.
So it really just resonated with me, and that's kind of why I got into real estate.
Yeah. Very cool.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Very cool. And at such a young age, what had it be that you put your first chunk of change that you had saved up into the real estate market, which is a very smart move, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, what had it
You didn't want to buy
that,
Bitcoin or anything?
Yeah.
No Bitcoin. To me, if it's not like tangible and I can't go and touch it, I don't want it. So real estate for me is like the only place that I will invest, to be honest with you. Because again, you can do so many different things with it, right? If you're not going to live in it, you can rent it, you can flip it. There's so many options, right? Hold on to it or sell it. I wanted to move out, number one.
Okay.
So that was my main driver. Okay. I think for everybody, like, you have to have an emotional why for your goal, and that was definitely mine. So I'd go to work every day, and I had this chart, and there's like your financial goal, your fitness goal, your personal goal, and that was my like financial goal, is buy a house, move out, have my own space. I've always been very independent. So having a house was number one on my list. And then again, so using that property to either, rent it out, use it as an income property, flip it, sell it, or just keep it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Good
awesome.
for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And what made you have that shift from the fitness into the real estate market?
I love fitness, so I've done it my whole life. Like, I've played soccer since I was 4. So I've always been in the fitness industry. I think part of me wanted to change, but I wanted to help people on, I want to say, a larger scale. And I actually studied nutrition. I went to university for nutrition.
Nice.
So from there, it's not that I didn't like it. I studied it. I was fantastic at it, but I kind of didn't have that same love for it. It was more of a passion.
Right.
Where I thought, okay, well, what's one thing that I can have as a passion? What's one thing that I can have as a career? Because when you start bringing in your passion as your career, not saying I'm not passionate about real estate, I really am too. But when you do, you're working out all day, every day, you stop working out because you're around it all the time, right?
Okay, right.
So for me, I said, what can I do for work, which is real estate? And then now I just do fitness on the side.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
That's really cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I talked to the audience about how you transitioned out of that, but how you retained your following, because you got a really good following on social media that is loyal to you, and
they're amazing.
and how you were able to retain that large following now in a total different industry. And what that looks like. So for people that are looking to get into the business and they've built up a decent following, but maybe they're a little bit scared to say, okay, well, I built the following in this sector, in this industry, but who's to say they're going to follow me for my journey and have it be that it helps me in my real estate career or whatever else it may be,
of
right?
course.
So talk to us a little bit about how you retain that crowd and then diversify your content.
So it comes down to authenticity. At the end of the day, people are going to follow you for you. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If they love you, you and you're doing a great job at it, they're going to follow you.
Great point. Yeah.
So when I started with fitness, I had built it. It was my first year in university. I started competing. So I made a promise to myself, I'm going to track my whole prep from the first week all the way to my show. I tracked the whole thing and I branded myself. So I was Alto Fit. That's what everybody knew me as. My last name's Alto.
Nice.
So I was Alto Fit on Instagram. I had like t-shirts made. I ran boot camps in the community.
Nice.
And my Instagram started blowing up. And I was kind of like, okay, this is cool. I did not expect it. So my Instagram started blowing up and I was like, okay, this is fun. And I went to Humber at one point to do my nutrition. And I was walking in the hallway and somebody's like, oh my God, you're Alto Fit. And I was like, okay, this is really weird. Like I didn't, really weird. So then when I shifted to real estate, I actually made a little bit of a hiccup. And that was going strictly professional, right? So you hear people, you know, keep it professional and all of this. So I started doing, you know, headshots and house, condo. But people started to kind of fall off. And I was asking myself, and I'm very, I like constructive criticism. So I messaged some of the people and I was like, hey, listen, thank you for, you know, following me. I noticed you followed me for so many years and now you've kind of left. Like, what's going on? You know, like, because I like having relationships with people.
Good for you that you reached out like that.
Yeah, because and again, I genuinely care. So it's not just like, oh, it's, you know, I want relationships with these people. Like,
of course.
Right? So I reached out to them and I was like, just feedback. And they were like, honestly, we love you and we feel like we've lost that. Like, you haven't been posting in your stories. It's been, you know, house, condo, leased, sold, whatever. And I was like, crap, you're right. Like, I need to go back to who I am. And that's like outgoing, bubbly, funny.
Good for you.
I think I'm
there's no authenticity after.
Exactly.
But good for you for reaching out to your community because you genuinely care.
But that's the main part,
And then you ask what they want, right, and why, you know, it is they unfollowed you, and then you just you put it back out there and start delivering what they wanted to see again, but what was true to your character and yourself, and that, awesome. Great on you to open up like that.
Absolutely.
And it's important to have that like open conversation, even in business, right? And that's what I try to establish through my social media presence is that, listen, I'm not just here for real estate for you, right? Like if you need to talk, I think the people that genuinely have been following me from the beginning, they know, like, if you're going through something, message me. Like, I'm here to talk to you. You could trust me on like a greater scale than just real estate. So
Very
to me, that's really important.
No, that's awesome. And in light of what would it cost, what's that marketing look like for yourself? Like, do you manage it yourself? Do you have like a content manager, content creator?
I manage it all myself. I love doing it. It's kind of something that's grown on me throughout the years. But recently I've started doing a little bit more like Facebook ads and the sponsored ads on Instagram and all of that for listings more so, not even just my content. My content, I like to do a lot of collaborations, work with people who are very similar or have the same outlooks. And another thing too is like taking the time to comment and acknowledge back to all of my followers. So I know a lot of the time I scroll through people's Instagrams and they're not messaging people back. And I'm like, they're taking the time out of their day to say like, you look beautiful, or, you know, good job. And the last thing you can do is take 3 seconds to say thank you, or like, have a great day, you know? So just be a nice person. Don't be shitty. And that goes a long way.
Absolutely.
That's what Steph said, the realtor, Steph Swab.
She's
like, just give a shit.
Just be a good person, honestly. And even when I was in sales, like at the gym that I used to open, and I was top in the country for sales. And people would ask me, I'd coach training for sales, and they'd ask me like, how are you training? How are you selling so much? And the first thing that I would say is, there is no secret recipe. There's no, you know, you have to do this, this, and this. Give a shit about the person. Like, talk to them. Talk to them like it's your mom, your dad, your friend. Because at the end of the day, those are the people that you genuinely care about. And if you care about somebody, then they're going to trust you, like you, want to be with you, work with you.
Absolutely.
No, very well said. And now bringing that to the clients. So what's that service look like if they were to choose you as a realtor?
I gotta tell you a story. So my clients moved in and this unit was supposed to be vacant, like nothing in it, like empty. We go in and they left a desk, like a big, we're not talking a desk, like a big desk. So they call me, they're like, hey, listen, like, we moved in, thank you so much, everything went smoothly, but like there's this big ass desk that we don't know what to do. And I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? So me, I'm like European, so I always have my little toolkit, I'm like, okay, I'll be there in like 20 minutes.
Wow.
I went, I like literally unscrewed everything with my nails. I'm like, the husband's watching me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do all of this and I'll stack it, but you need to help me carry it down at least. So then we trucked it, like we threw it out. But like, I'll always go above and beyond for my clients. If they call me, they're like, hey, you know, this place isn't like, you know, sometimes for leases especially, cleaning can be very subjective. Like, my idea of cleaning is like you should be able to go like this and nothing, but some people aren't. So I'll literally go in and like bring them a coffee and be like, welcome to your new place. I brought Lysol wipes. Like, I'm gonna wipe it down for you.
Oh wow,
that's really awesome.
Yeah,
very cool.
And you can like, my clients will vouch for that. I've probably had like 2 or 3 of them where they're like, it's not really, and I'm like, I'm gonna come and clean your kitchen for you. Like, we'll chill. Yeah.
Wow, that's very unique.
Yeah.
So you're a bit of a clean freak.
Oh my god.
It's a good thing.
I'm super like
that's
type
awesome.
A personality. If something's not done like the way that I want it to be, I'll go do it.
Good for you. Good for you.
I love the little toolkit.
Toolkit, Lysol wipes, whatever you need, it's in my car.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Go the extra mile.
Yeah.
I'm sure the clients really appreciate
Oh, they love it. And they said, they're like,
yeah.
honestly, even though we're not buying like right now, if it's like a lease, they're like, we are coming back to you 100%.
Right.
Because nobody else would come into our house and like literally clean our kitchen with us. But to me, it's like, I helped you move there. Like, I need to know that you're good. That's my job, is to make sure you're good. And that you're liking it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool, because even, and sorry to interject here, but to go after the leases and put yourself out there and make yourself available like that, but then to go above and beyond and even go in and do a little bit of cleaning or disassembling of something on a lease, but you're building that relationship.
Of course, and that's
you're looking for the longevity.
Yeah, like in my first year alone, I did about 40 leases.
Oh wow.
Which is a lot. It's a lot. It was a lot of running around. And again, I made sure that even if it was a lease, I don't care. Like, it's every single person is treated the exact same. Whether you're a lease, buyer, seller, doesn't matter. Same treatment.
What does it cost for you to represent someone and find them a place for a lease?
So for a lease, they actually don't pay you, right? It's the landlord that is the one that's paying you, the agents. So for me, like, what would it cost? Really, like, time, right? It's pretty time consuming. But the way that I like to work is very efficiently, and I tell my clients this from the beginning. I'm like, listen, we're gonna find you a place. I like to work quick, so I need to know when your ideal closing date is, because then I time everything perfectly so that we're going out, we're seeing maybe 3 or 4 places in the same day. They decide which one they like. We put in an offer. I give it like 100%. I put in personal letters with every single one of my offers. Leases, sales, doesn't matter. Everybody gets a personal letter.
That's awesome.
Because at the end of the day, I want to do it once. I want to do it right. And if that's the place that they love, I don't want them to lose it. So
cool. So you're free to the person that's leasing it, but how about the landlord?
So the landlord actually just represented one, and they're the ones that have to pay out the commission. So generally it's about 1 month's rent plus HST divided up between the agents, right? That's how a lease typically works. But yeah, I mean, leases are more so relationship building, right? You know, eventually those people are going to move again, or that again they will refer you, or they're lifelong friends, even if they stay there, it doesn't matter.
That's awesome. Very cool.
And I know it's only been a year and a half, but have you found like a niche yet that you like? Are you more on the buyer side, seller side?
I'm more on the buyer side right now. Ideally, obviously, everybody wants to get into the listing side, and that's like the perfect case scenario. But again, like, people are going to have to buy. As much as you're going to sell, people still need to buy, or else you just have sellers and no buyers, which is not the best market. So I like to do a little bit of everything. Resale is my forte, I guess. I have done a little bit of pre-construction as well in my first year, which I do like. But again, I'm very type A personality, so as soon as there's a few unknowns, it can get a little tricky with pre-con sometimes. You really need to trust the builder and who you're working with. And to me, if I don't trust something, or I smell that something's a little bit off, I'll just back away from the project, because then that's ruining my reputation. Right? I don't care about the money or anything that you can get from it for selling a unit. If something's going to go incredibly wrong throughout the process, that's going to hurt me in the long run.
You're building the bridge for them into that project.
Because as much as it goes for the builder, the client's working with you. I'm the one doing the worksheet. I'm the one, you know, showing them the project and the photos. So really, it comes back to my reputation. And
even the vouching aspect, right? I was talking to someone else the other day about this, and it was like, how do you select the project and and understanding, who you're going to work with in the developer and builder and what their track sheet looks like, and what, they're able and capable of doing, and how long they've existed in business, and how many projects they've brought to completion. What did those projects look like? Because it's not even like you can explain to your client, like when shit hits the fan and a project doesn't go through, and deposits are returned after being held in trust with the lawyer, all that good stuff, right? Not to say that they're out of pocket, but they weren't able to have access to that capital throughout that time and reallocate it to another investment. They went through this roller coaster ride of you having to answer that phone for every question and concern that they've had.
And then going back to the builder,
and they're going to do this huge emotional trauma, right? And it's you facilitating all that, right? But again, they'll understand that ultimately it's not your fault, because there's only so much that you could do as a realtor. But they just got this bad taste in their mouth for the overall experience, and you're attached to that because you vouch for the project. Right?
Which is what I don't want.
Right, yeah, which is understandable, and it's interesting that you'll sense a few things that are, like you call them, the unknown, and just let's stay away from that and avoid that whole headache. Good on you, because that is so much time burnt, right?
And I make my clients aware of it from the beginning, right? Like these are some things that can come up, not saying that they are, but if they do, we're going to get it fixed. Don't worry about it, right? You want to put them at ease because we are the professionals in it. But at the same time, just making them aware, like these are essentially like side effects, right? Like this could happen, but you don't know. That's our job, is to make them aware of the risks, the benefits, and everything in between.
Exactly. Exactly. Very cool. Nice. And for Alto Real Estate, so what's the future look like? What's next for yourself?
So I'm very goals driven, and I don't like to just like plateau myself. So I'm already in the process of getting my broker's license.
Nice.
I should have that by November. And then maybe a team, maybe a brokerage one day. Who knows?
Nice.
Yeah, but bigger, better things always.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're going to be able to know how to hit the ground running with that, given your sales and team building experience when
100%.
Launching the big gym for good.
Because again, like to me, about building a team, it's not just all about the systems, although those are important. It's more so about like the culture of the team, right? Like making sure everybody's enjoying it, people are learning, they feel safe, they feel welcomed, and that you can give them that support. Because I remember like when I was a brand new agent, you need that support at the beginning, especially if you're new. Like I came into real estate, my family did not come from a real estate background.
Right.
So I'm like completely fresh, besides the fact that I love business and I'm, more business oriented.
Right.
My family's in construction, teaching, all of that. So really just having that support in the beginning and offering that is huge.
Right.
That's amazing.
And where did those leadership skills come from?
That's probably soccer.
Okay.
To be honest with you, like I grew up playing soccer since I was 4, like I said.
Okay.
And I was always the team captain.
Oh, okay.
Growing up, I've always been very expressive. Opinionated. Like I've always been a natural leader. I don't know what it is. People ask me that all the time. But I think it just comes from, I have a deep passion for helping people.
Okay.
So it comes across as leadership, I guess.
An innate ability. Very cool.
Well, I love that. Yeah, so now look at the industry, like it's ever-growing industry and there's a lot of competition. So what are some challenges you're facing, or you see that maybe some other realtors are facing when joining this industry or just being a part of it?
Okay, so parallel parking in Toronto. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, I can't parallel park. I'm in all honesty, it's the worst.
You get one of those new cars, you just push the button.
Honestly, I'm like, my mom calls it Walmart parking, where like you park all the way at the back. That's me. I take like the furthest parking spot, and I'm like, I don't even care if I get ticketed. At least I know I'm not hitting anybody's car, so that's fine.
Have you ever hit anyone's car?
I hope not. Not that I know of. Or else I'll leave a little note. But in all honesty, I think that in real estate, the main thing is, especially being a female realtor, you need to be very cautious. And I feel like you need to think about things that male realtors don't necessarily have to think about all the time. So for example, like who are you meeting? Right, you're meeting a lot of leads online, they're contacting you through Realtor, and sometimes they think it's Tinder and not realtor.ca. So you have to learn how to like shut that down and redirect them to Tinder. And in all honesty, again, so it comes down to just having different precautions put in place onto how to protect yourself. So some of those might be like, I have Find My Friends on all the time with my sister, and she has she has my schedule. Like if I'm going to showings for an evening, I'll text her where I'm at and the times, and I tell her, I'm like, listen, if I have a showing till 8 and I don't message you by 8:30, 8:45 max, call me. right?
Yeah.
So I have like that in place.
Good for you.
If I'm showing somebody a house, they need to send me their ID. If I've never met them before,
Right.
they need to send me their ID. And if they say no, like I haven't, I don't feel comfortable or I don't want to send it to you, I don't work with them.
Yeah.
Because
Good
if
for you.
if you
Good
don't
for you.
trust me with your ID, which everybody has, let's be real.
Yeah.
And I'm a realtor, like I'm not gonna go look at your address, I don't care. Then I can't trust you at the showing.
Right.
So then I just won't go. There's no amount of money that's worth putting yourself at risk
Good for
for.
you. Yeah.
I don't even care how big the deal is. If I don't trust you from the beginning or there's a bad feeling, I'm not going.
Yeah.
And another thing too is if you are showing somebody a house and you've seen the picture on their ID, you see that it's them clearly, and you're in the house by yourself, is let them go into the room and you kind of stay by the door more.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes what's happened before is people are going into the room and now the client is blocking the door.
Right.
And even in like counseling, for example, a course that I took in university, whenever you're counseling a client, you're never supposed to sit on the side by the door, right? You're supposed to sit on the side with the wall as a counselor so that if they feel unsafe or if they feel pressured by any means, they can leave.
Oh, wow.
So that's something that I've kind of remembered and taken with me into real estate okay, my client's going to go into the room, they're going to scope it out, I'm going to stay by the door. So if God forbid anything happens, I can jet.
Wow.
And
Good point.
to all the other female realtors out there, like go to your local gym, mixed martial arts, MMA, Muay Thai. Like I started Muay Thai, it's sick. I love it. So like do some of that because okay, you're not going to be like friggin' Mike Tyson, right? But like you'll learn a few things, you'll drop a few elbows, right? So like that's super helpful too.
Absolutely, good for you. And we're all about that. We support a charity called Aura Freedom, and they deal with child trafficking and battered
It's
women,
crazy,
right? And the amount of this that's happening right in our backyard, we need to shine a bigger light on it in a big way. So good on you for mentioning that and putting everyone on alert, because it is a big problem and it is something that everyone needs to be more mindful of. So exactly. Stay by the door and go to the gyms and learn how to kick some ass.
Exactly.
Mental fitness.
If you need training, just let me know. I'll hook you up.
She'll teach you how to sell houses and then kick the client's ass.
No. 2-for-1 special.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming out today.
Thank you for having me.
We had a great conversation with you. And let everybody know where they could check you out.
Thanks, guys. So you can find me on Instagram. It's its.Rebekah Alto on Instagram, and Facebook obviously as well. Feel free to add me there. And yeah, let's chat.
Amazing.
Drop me a message.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys, for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks again for tuning into this week's episode of What Would It Cost? Be sure to like, follow, and share. Hit the subscribe button below, and we'll see you next week.
And again, big shout out to our sponsor, Nove Baci. The Vicentes just opened up an awesome restaurant. Go check it out. Everything on the menu's fire. It's Italian, and the pizza, the pasta, the calamari, the bruschetta, the what else?
The pescatore, everything, the desserts. I'll give you the whole menu. I memorized it. I love it.
Their family very well known in the restaurant business, and they outdid themselves again. So go check them out. Nove Baci. Next on What Would It Cost?
I actually went to a Damon Jones seminar, but when it came to that second part of real estate, I left. I was like, this is for rich people. I can't get into real estate, So I was like, can't get into real estate. But at the Robert Herjavec seminar on the PA before they go into real estate, they're like, all right, stay tuned, guys. We're gonna get into real estate, learn how to invest in real estate with no money down. Now I had a mental note of my bank account, and I was like, I qualify. I qualify. There's no money down. This is great. This is awesome.
He's engaged.
I'm engaged. I'm ready.
Approved.
First seat. I sat down. I'm like, this is me. This is me.